Dang, I really don't know what classes I should take. And even though UCLA class planner is great at laying out all my classes, it still fundamentally fails to give me enough information to make informed decisions while planning out all my classes. Like, for example, I really want to take classes with my friends. But I don't even know what classes you're taking. And it can be a struggle to contact them at times, too. Also, what if I want to connect to other students who are planning on taking a course I'm interested in? Approaching people in real life can be difficult sometimes. And what if I really want to know whether or not I can actually make it to each of my classes, especially if I have them back to back? Additionally, it takes so much effort to go on to Bruin and figure out the best professor for the classes I want to take. On top of all this, I'm still a new student, and I don't even know where any of these buildings are.
Has this ever happened to you? Planning classes at UCLA can be quite a hassle. Luckily, the amazing team at TBA has just the solution for you.
Preview.
Bruin Assistant enhances the UCLA class planning experience through a convenient and easy-to-use Chrome extension, coupled with an auxiliary 3D mapping web application. Let's take a look at its features. So for the sake of this demo, I'm going to be taking on the role of a student here at UCLA looking to plan classes for their next quarter. So as you can see, I have the UCLA Class Planner webpage opened up, and I currently have a plan with two classes on it, Math 33A and CS 132. I want to add a third class to this, and I'm thinking about taking CS 130, but I'm not quite too sure if I want to take it just yet. So we'll start by first adding CS 130 to our plan. So I'll add it down here. Once CS 130 gets added to my plan, you can see here that it shows up down here in my course table. But first things first, I really only want to take CS 130 if I have some friends who are also taking the class with me. Luckily, Bruin Assistant can tell me that information. So you can see here that in the status column, Bruin Assistant has injected the number of friends who are also currently planning on taking this class. So I can see here that I currently have Eldon, Henry, and Johnson, who are all friends I've added through the Bruin Assistant application that also have CS 130 in their class plan. So that's great. I know some friends who are also taking this course with me.
Wow, this would be so useful if I had friends.
Now I want to connect to some other students who are also planning on taking CS 130. And Bruin Assistant solves that issue for us. You can see here that Bruin Assistant has directly injected a uniquely generated GroupMe group chat link that has been generated for the specific section. And you can see here, if I hover over this GroupMe button, there's a QR code pop-up that allows me to scan with my favorite device and join the group chat even faster. So that's awesome. Now I can connect to students who are taking this CS 130 class. But now I want to make sure that the professor that's teaching the CS 130 class is actually a professor I want to take the class with. Normally I have to go onto Bruin and look through all the pages for all the information I want, but Bruin Assistant makes this process even more streamlined. You can see here that Bruin Assistant has injected a summary of all the possible information you can find on the Bruin website. So you can see here we have a table of attributes for the class. We have some nice data visualizations, including a visualization of or a direct comparison of Professor Kim in this case to an average of other instructor ratings for the CS 130 class. So you can see here that Professor Kim seems to be a really awesome professor for CS 130. So maybe now I want to take this class with her. There's also a grade distribution for past versions of this class, as well as a sort of a top review that was left by a previous student who has taken this class in the past. So that's awesome. Professor Kim looks like a great professor. I really want to take CS 130 now. But I also know that based on my schedule, I have this Math 33A class right before the CS 130 class. And I know I'm a slow walker, so I'm not quite too sure if I can make it between my two classes. Luckily, again, Bruin Assistant will help us with that. So you can see here, Bruin Assistant has directly injected into the course table sort of distance and time estimates between our classes. So you can see here for CS 130, both on Monday and Wednesday during the lecture time, it takes roughly about 5 minutes to walk from my previous class in that day. So that's great. Even though I have 10 minutes to walk in total, I only need about 5 minutes to walk. So now I know I can definitely make it to lecture on time. So that's perfect. That's awesome. And you can see up here, there's also special handling for cases where we have sort of online classes preceding this one, or also first classes in the day. So that's perfect. So great. Now I really want to take this CS130 class. But again, I'm sort of a new student. I don't really know where this mathematical sciences building is, or this Young Hall building is. But luckily, Bruin Assistant also helps us with that. So through Bruin Assistant's auxiliary web application, we can easily see where all the locations are of our classes on the UCLA campus. So the way we access that is by going to this pop-up here, and we copy our link that has been specifically generated for my specific schedule. And then we will open up the mapping website using this button. And once we have the mapping website all loaded up here, we'll be able to see sort of a three-dimensional rendering of the UCLA campus. And now down here, we copy and paste our unique map ID. This we can now generate our map. And now once the map has been generated, we can select these buttons up here to take us to our Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and so on days of the week for our schedule. And so if I see here on Monday, I see here I have two markers indicating exactly where my classes are in that day. So I can move around here. I could pan around the entire campus. I can turn and look at our different classes. If I want, I also have support for Street View. So I can just drag and drop this little figure here over here on this road. And now I can actually see using satellite imagery exactly what the buildings are on UCLA campus, so I don't get lost when I'm walking around to find my classes. So this is perfect. Without even stepping foot on campus, I know exactly where to go throughout every single class during the entirety of my week. So that's super awesome. And just one more thing. We here at Team TBA wanted to recognize how amazing our Professor Kim and TA Patricia were during our time of developing this Bruin Assistant. And so we have implemented a sort of a mystery mode, a secret Easter egg feature for Bruin Assistant, which we can enable via this toggle switch here. At first, nothing happens, but if we are to refresh the page and then scroll down to CS130, we can see here that Professor Kim and TA Patricia both get given their deserving titles of Best Professor and Best TA. And with that, thank you so much.
Wow, this is so helpful. Thanks, Bruin.